There is a version of you that nobody has met yet. A version that wakes up before the world, trains while others sleep, studies while others scroll, and builds in silence so loud it becomes deafening. But nobody sees that version, yet. And that is exactly the point. You have been giving people access to you before you were ready. You have been showing up half-finished, emotionally available to everyone who barely deserved a text back. You have been present when you should have been absent, and absent when you should have been building. Most people will never understand why you suddenly go quiet. They will talk. They will wonder. They will feel it, that strange hollow feeling of someone being gone who used to always be there. But here is what nobody tells you about that silence. Your absence, when built correctly, becomes the loudest statement you will ever make. The ancient Stoics understood something most men in this generation refuse to learn. Marcus Aurelius did not build an empire by being endlessly available. Epictetus did not develop inner freedom by staying comfortable. They built in silence. They studied the mind while others celebrated weakness. They trained the body while others manufactured excuses. This principle, study hard, train hard, and let your absence do the talking, is not about ego. It is not about revenge. It is about evolution. When you remove yourself from noise, from toxic attachments, from people who drain your energy without filling your soul, something powerful ignites inside you. You stop performing for applause. You start building for legacy. The Stoics called this discipline solitude, premeditatio in action. And here is the part most people skip entirely. The greatest version of yourself is not found in crowds. It is forged in your most private, painful, and disciplined moments alone. Silence is not weakness. It is one of the most misunderstood weapons a man can ever possess. Imagine being the person who is always there, always responding, always available, always emotionally present for everyone around you. Then one day, you simply stop. No drama, no explanation. Just absence. But here is the truth most people are afraid to admit. When you are always available, you teach others that you have no value. Your time becomes their assumed right. Have you ever felt this? The exhaustion of being needed by everyone except yourself? This is where it changes. When you become scarce, you become valuable. Your silence starts to say more than your words ever did. Most people study to pass an exam, but you are here to study to transcend yourself entirely. There is a difference between knowledge and understanding, and that difference determines the entire life you build. Imagine watching someone rise from nothing, not because of luck, but because they read while others rested and studied systems while others watched highlights. But here is the truth. Knowledge without discipline is nothing but decoration. It means nothing unless you apply it in the fire of real life. Have you ever read something that permanently changed how you saw everything around you? This is where it changes. Study is not preparation for life. Study is the weapon you carry into every single room. Your body is a statement. Before you speak, before you act, before anyone learns your name, your physique tells the world who you are and how seriously you take yourself. Most people ignore this part because the gym is hard, consistency is painful, and real results demand real time. But here is the truth. Every rep you complete in silence, every meal you discipline yourself through, every morning you choose training over comfort, each one is a vote for the man you are becoming. Have you ever looked in the mirror and felt like a stranger to yourself? This is where it changes. Train until your body reflects the war you are already winning inside. There are people in your life right now who will only understand your worth once you are gone. Not dead, gone from their access. Gone from their weekend plans, their late-night calls, their emotional emergencies that somehow always became your problem to carry. But here is the truth. You cannot pour from an empty vessel. And you cannot build an empire while carrying people who were never going to help you build it. Have you ever realized you were exhausted not from work, but from people? Don't skip this. The moment you protect your energy like a sacred resource, your entire life shifts directions permanently. Make your absence their lesson. Grief is not only for the dead. People grieve living people all the time, especially the ones who once gave everything and then quietly, powerfully chose themselves. The person who always responded now takes days. The one who always showed up no longer does. And it genuinely hurts the people who took that presence for granted. But here is the truth. The pain your absence causes in others is directly proportional to the presence you once offered completely for free. Have you ever given so much that your giving became someone else's expectation? This is where it changes. Stop being predictable. Let your presence become a privilege, not a guarantee anyone can claim. Discipline is not glamorous. It is 5 a.m. when the alarm rings and everything inside you screams to stay warm and still. It is opening a book when your mind craves distraction. It is saying no when every social instinct says yes. Most people watch disciplined men from the outside and call it natural talent. But here is the truth. Talent is what you are born with. Discipline is what you build in the dark, in private, with nobody watching and nobody clapping for you. Have you ever built something that nobody even knew about? Comment, I choose myself if this hits you. The unseen effort is always the loudest proof of real character. If you are still here, you are not like most people. Most people clicked away 3 minutes ago because this content demands something of them. It demands that they grow. But you stayed. And that tells me something real about the person you are already becoming. Here is what the Stoics knew that modern men keep forgetting. Identity is not what you say about yourself. It is what you do when no reward is promised and no audience is watching. But here is the truth. The man you are building in silence will one day walk into rooms and shift the entire energy without saying a single word. This is where it changes. There's a version of loneliness that is not sadness, it is pure strategy. Wolves do not hunt in herds. Eagles do not flock with pigeons. The man who is truly building himself understands that the season of solitude is not punishment. It is deliberate preparation for something greater. But here is the truth. Most men confuse loneliness with failure because nobody ever taught them that isolation and growth are completely inseparable companions. Have you ever felt most powerful in your most alone moments? Don't skip this realization. Solitude is not the absence of connection. It is the presence of self. And that is where the unbreakable version of you lives permanently. Your greatest enemies are not the people who dislike you. They are the habits that comfort you straight into mediocrity. The scroll, the snooze, the unnecessary conversation, the excuse dressed up and disguised as a perfectly reasonable explanation. But here is the truth. Every minute spent in comfort that does not serve your growth is a minute stolen from the man you were always supposed to become. Most people never identify this invisible daily theft happening inside their own lives. Have you ever looked back at a wasted week and felt something close to grief? This is where it changes. You are not fighting other people. You are fighting the older, softer version of yourself. The world notices absence more powerfully than presence. Think about it carefully. When the most consistent person in any room suddenly disappears, people feel it immediately. They wonder. They talk about it. They reach out. Not because they suddenly love you deeply, but because your absence reminded them of everything they had and refused to value while it was right in front of them. But here is the truth. You should not disappear to manipulate. You should disappear to evolve entirely. There is a profound difference between performing absence and genuinely outgrowing the rooms that once felt like home. Have you ever felt too big for a familiar space? Let the growth speak loudly. Most men wait for the right moment to finally begin. They wait for motivation, for clarity, for someone to believe in them first before they believe in themselves. But here is the truth that Stoic philosophy has been declaring for centuries. The right moment does not arrive on your doorstep. You become the right moment. You study now with what you already have. You train now with the body you currently possess. You build now in the exact life you are living, not the one you are endlessly waiting for. Have you ever delayed yourself straight out of your own destiny? Don't skip this. Every day you wait, you gift your future to chance. The final truth nobody discusses openly, the real reward of becoming someone your past self would not recognize. Not the money, not the status, not the quiet satisfaction of revenge. The reward is the unshakable confidence of a man who knows precisely what he did in the dark to earn every single ray of his light. But here is the truth, that confidence cannot be faked or purchased. It lives in your posture, your stillness, your eyes. People will sense it before you ever speak. Have you ever met someone whose presence alone commanded the entire room? That is built through study, training, and disciplined, deliberate absence. You are becoming that person right now. You are not the same person who pressed play on this video. Something shifted, a gear turning inside a machine that has been stuck far too long. Maybe it was subtle. Maybe it hit you like a mirror being held up to every decision you have made and every piece of yourself you have been handing away for free. Either way, you felt it. And that recognition is the beginning of absolutely everything. You are the kind of person who studies when others sleep. You train when others manufacture excuses. You build in silence and let the results speak without your permission. Your absence is not cruelty. It is self-respect in motion. The people who truly matter will understand. The people who do not will feel the weight of it, and that weight will teach them what your words never once could. Honor that completely. This is where most videos end with a smile and a subscribe button. But I want to leave you with something heavier, something you carry past this screen and into your actual life. The world does not reward the loudest man. It eventually, inevitably bows to the most consistent one. The man who studied when it was not glamorous. The man who trained when nobody was watching or applauding. The man who removed himself from noise and returned as someone entirely unrecognizable. That man is you, in progress, in becoming, in motion right now. If this video opens something real inside you, do 3 things. Subscribe, because this channel exists to build men who build themselves. Comment, "I choose myself" below. That declaration matters more than you know. Share this with one person who needs to hear it. Study, train, make your absence hurt. Never look back.